Now, as I said, Election Day was always a drunken mess to begin with. But when 4 of Randall McCoy's sons arrived, they were already liquored up and ready to throw down. Those sons were Bill, Bud, Tolbert, and Farmer.
With a PH.
Farmer with a PH, not an F.
Yeah, because that's a name.
Yeah, Farmer McCoy. Now, in one version of the story, the McCoy brothers were causing trouble, racing up and down the roads on their horses and shouting nonsense.
Yeah, woo!
Yeah. Woo! 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 Tolbert, for example, jumped off his horse and shouted, quote,
I'm hell owner!
Fuck yeah.
That's cool.
But to that, Ellison Hatfield, who didn't think much of Tolbert, retorted with, quote,
You're a damn shithog.
now shithog, that's a real thing and a great fucking insult.
Okay.
Yeah.
But shithogs, just so you know, shithogs are hogs that snuffle through the manure left behind by other hogs in search of undigested grain.
The tasty ones.
Double stuff.
Yes, double stuff.
And the fight, of course, proceeded from there. In another version of the story, though, which is no less stereotypical, Tolbert was having a grand old time buck dancing to a banjo player up on the official buck dancing platform. Yeah, you know what buck dancing is?
It's when you shake your butt and stomp your feet?
No, buck dancing.
Oh, buck dancing.
It's butt dancing.
Yeah,
that was invented
popular
in
in the
90s.
90s.
Yeah, 1968.
No, it's hillbilly tap dancing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's almost like it's the music,
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah, exactly.
Here,
Yeah,
I got a good example of
That's
it.
buck dancing.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. God damn it. This fucking commercials. I'm not paying YouTube. I'm not going to fucking pay YouTube.
I
Get
pay
an
you
ad
too.
blocker. They're free.
No, because now YouTube doesn't allow ad blockers.
Okay.
They fucking discontinued it.
Okay.
Sounds like Marcus's is doing fine.
He doesn't. Well, you pay for it because you don't know. You pay for it, maybe. That's buck dancing.
Yeah, this is the leader of the Wild and Wonderful Whites. This was he was known for.
I know what buck dancing
That's
is.
buck dancing.
I explained to you what buck dancing was.
Yeah.
I'm glad you pulled up a video for our podcast.
I was just looking at it. This ain't nothing, man. It's just fucking kind of tough.
I'd love to see you try buck dancing. It's difficult. It's
I know.
extraordinarily difficult.
Yeah,
What do you
because it's
look
not
at?
just clipping and clopping, it's sliding as well.
It's just fun to see.
Yeah, it is fun to see, but, you know.
I'm just laughing. I don't think it's bad.
They'd use it for, it's what picnic tables are for in West Virginia.
Well, there was an official buck dancing platform here, and Tolbert was up there showing off his skills when a Hatfield named Black Elias tried joining in. Tolbert, however, drunk as he was, started shouting that Black Elias owed him money for a fiddle, which Black Elias maintained was a debt that had already been paid. You owe me for the fucking fiddle. Fuck you, no I don't.
Fuck you. I gave you fiddle fucking money 2 weeks ago.
God damn it, Tolbert. I would like, Tolbert's a great name to yell.
Oh,
Tolbert's again.
Tolbert, you're getting on my last nerve.
Fuck you, Tolbert.
It feels good.
Y'all asked me for my opinion. You know, like, I'm just Tolbert.
Shut the fuck up, Tolbert.
You asked me for
I think that our audience at home should pause the podcast right now and just say, fuck you, Tolbert.
Fuck you, Tolbert.
Just feel real good for a little
Just
bit.
label somebody that you hate in your life a Tolbert.
Well, Black Elias then punched Tolbert in the chin, and a fight ensued, which ended when Tolbert knocked Black Elias out cold. But after Black Elias went down, Ellison Hatfield stepped in. Tolbert allegedly called Ellison a cross between a gorilla and a polecat.
Oh, hey now.
Hey, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, almost a compliment.
Almost,
That's what I would say. He's a big guy. He's crazy.
I mean, a cross between a gorilla and a skunk is a terrifying thing to behold.
Yeah, you can fucking spray. You can rip your face off and then spray shit lumps into your fucking mouth. That's cool.
And so the fight began. But pretty quickly, both men pulled out a couple of knives.
Sure.
Now, while you might have like a switchblade or a hunting knife in mind when you picture their weapons, these guys were holding little folding jackknives.
Whittlers.
They're closer to shivs than machetes.
Okay.
Regardless, though, both started swiping at each other with their blades as the crowd watched. But But Tolbert, smaller and quicker than Ellison, because Ellison's, size of a gorilla,
Yeah.
Tolbert got the first stab, although the blade deflected off of Ellison's ribcage. He got it a little bit lower, it might have killed him. Since it was just a mere flesh wound, though, Ellison returned with a swipe to Tolbert's face, creating a gash that went from Tolbert's ear to the top of his forehead. But when the two of them crashed together to grapple, Ellison's jackknife closed on his own fingers, removing a weapon from the equation. That, however, didn't stop the much larger Ellison whatsoever, who knocked Tolbert to the ground with his heavily bleeding fists. But as Ellison put one hand to Tolbert's throat and punched Tolbert in the chest with the other, Tolbert stabbed Ellison's side over and over with the jackknife, shredding Ellison's hip and stomach. And to make matters worse, Tolbert's younger brother, Bill McCoy, cowardly stabbed Ellison while Tolbert was on the ground, then ran away. But even though Ellison had 27 stab wounds, he still had enough strength to grab a 10-pound rock that he was just about to use to smash Tolbert's skull. That, however, is when Farmer McCoy, who had thus far only been a bystander, pulled his revolver and shot Ellison in the back.
That's for making fun of my name.
And yet Ellison still did not die.
Yeah.
He wandered over to a tree and slumped down, while the constable, a Hatfield named Matt, the first guy with a normal fucking name in this story,
I'm just Matthew.
Matthew Hatfield.
I developed a time machine deep inside of my home in Southern California, and now I'm here gazing upon the Hatfield McCoy beginning of the feud. And my name's Ben.
Well, he arrested Farmer and Tolbert McCoy. As far as Bill McCoy went, he got away because he'd run off after stabbing Ellison. Unfortunately for Bill's brother Bud, though, the two of them looked almost exactly alike. So Bud McCoy was arrested for his brother's crime.
Also a very old-timey thing that can happen.
Yeah.
They all probably look the same.
Yeah, they're all
pretty
weird.
similar.
Yeah.
Now, Preacher Ance Hatfield, the man who'd hosted the hog trial, he was now also the justice of the peace. So he had Tolbert, Bud, and Farmer McCoy sent to Pikeville, 25 miles away over the Kentucky state line, where the nearest jail was located. They didn't get far, however, before two Hatfields caught up to them and convinced the constables that the McCoys needed to be tried in Tug Fork back in West Virginia, because that's where the murders had taken place.
This is so much chaos.
It does make sense, though.
Yeah.
Sort of, but still, it's like a bunch of guys show up and tell two cops, hey, those guys are going to need to come with us. And the two cops are like, yep.
Well, yeah, because it was a bunch of dudes who were going to kill those cops.
Yes,
unless
the
they
guys.
Yeah, but in one direction is a judge, and in the other direction is Devil Ance Hatfield.
Yeah.
And so the McCoy brothers were brought back to Preacher Ance's house, which was the very place where the hog trial had taken place a couple years prior.
Delicious.
Yeah, we need to have our own LPN hog trial.
Yeah, I want a hog trial. And we sentence this hog to death. Yay!
I find this hog delicious.
He's happy about it, too.
I get to serve a purpose.
Well, after much serious debate, Devil Ance moved the McCoy brothers to an abandoned schoolhouse and declared that if his brother Ellison lived, the brothers McCoy would be returned to Pikeville to stand trial. But he refused to say what would happen if his brother died, which of course happened 2 agonizing days later.
Damn, that's a big motherfucker.
It's just also, it's just the dying in that time period is just bad.
It's real bad. Yeah, it takes a long time. Now, in the time between the fight and Ellison's death, the mother of the McCoy brothers and Randall McCoy's wife, Sarah McCoy, she'd traveled to the abandoned schoolhouse to beg for mercy concerning her sons. In response, Devil Ance promised that he'd bring her sons back to Kentucky alive no matter what. But Devil Ance made no promises as to what he'd do to the McCoy brothers once the state line was crossed.
Why didn't he just tell him he's going to shoot him in the head? He's doing all these sort of like, yeah, I'll definitely make sure they make it to Kentucky.
He just wanted to get rid of her.
Yeah. Just, I guess it not upset her. And
Yeah.
not have to shoot her in the head.
Yeah. And so, after Ellison McCoy died, Devil Ance and 20 of his henchmen, mostly his employees, marched Tolbert, Bud, and Farmer McCoy across the state line to a sinkhole where people tossed the carcasses of dead dogs.
Wait, you say, where are we going? I thought we were going to, Oh, I know where we're going. Oh, this is the saddest place in the goddamn world. Oh, this ain't good.
Yeah, Dead Dog Hole.
Why are we going to Dead Dog Hole?
I've never been to Dog Mud, Kentucky.
Do you think that our employees would ever allow us to march 3 other podcasters to a death hearing? Would they ever surround us in a cloud as we bring the smartless guys like to a place where we'll murder
Dead
them?
Dog Hole.
Yeah.
Man, Bateman could talk his way out of anything.
I'd be like, you know what, Mr. Arnett, I am just pleased to be next to you.
I ain't gonna listen to nothing you fucking say, Arnett.